Welcome back in. This is Baxter Street Boys. I'm your host, Cole Wilcox, joined as always by co-host Jake Gordon and our producer, Griffin Rudy. Today we got another special guest, professional gambler himself from Cook the Book, Biggy. He'll be joining us on the back half. But first, we're going to talk about South Carolina a little bit. If you've been listening to this show, you know we got plenty to say. And I think Dogs fans around are going to like what we have to say. So let's just get right into it. Got a lot to talk about between South Carolina and some bets, so let's do it.
10, 12, he's running over people. Oh, you hurt your walking.
There he goes in the corner again, and we jump up. Touchdown! Oh, God, a touchdown in the corner.
He just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose. We just crushed their face.
Swift's got running room. Swift by the defense. 40, 30. They won't catch him. Go, Swift, into the end zone. Touchdown! The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Dogs win it. We're headed to Atlanta. Near sideline, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo at the 21. Off he goes. 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Near sideline. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Georgia.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
That's the energy we're looking for right there, baby. He's right. We're live. We're ready to roll. Second live show this week. Schedules are starting to clear up. It's about to be all football all the time, so here we go. Time to roll. Boys, what's happening?
Griff, what you up to?
He's blurry down there.
Dude, nothing. This has been a crazy week, honestly. I've had like 3 tests. So
yeah,
I'm excited to just talk football.
Your new house, I think the Wi-Fi's struggling. It ain't like 2230.
Yeah, dude, it's there's no doubt about that. Even though it's the same router, which makes not a lot of sense, but
well,
I'm excited. I'm excited for this Modern Warfare 2 beta on Thursday, so I will be live on Twitch playing that.
Big
if
weekend.
If you want to get a peek at that,
big weekend. All right, so yeah, as you know, we got South Carolina coming up this week. First SEC matchup, conference opener. Listen, coming into this season, I was a little bit worried about this one as a conference opener on the road, but as we move closer to the game, it's looking like I was a little bit wrong on South Carolina. I'll be honest. I was a little bit. I thought Spencer Rattler coming in would be good for them, but the questions were on the offensive line. If you heard the show, we previewed the SEC East. That's what we talked about, like the offensive line for South Carolina. What if it hits? The team could be really good. Well, it has not hit at all. I got some numbers real quick before we get into it. South Carolina has ran for an average of 59.5 yards per game this year. They ran for 79 against Georgia State, and they ran for 40 against Arkansas. Do you boys foresee that being a problem against the Georgia Bulldogs?
I tried to tell a couple South Carolina fans. I have a lot of them that follow me. Some of them are Braves fans and stuff. I told them they were better last year when they had Kevin Harris and Zaquan J. White. I told them they had a lot of issues, and Spencer Rattler wasn't going to fix those issues, but they didn't want to hear that. They got Spencer Rattler. They got the man. Even though he just got benched in arguably the most quarterback-friendly offense in all of college football. And I'm not worried at all about South Carolina. I think Georgia will cover 24 points easily. I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes. I'm not worried about their terrible secondary. They're not good. They're a C-tier class team in the SEC East, which is, that's pretty low. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not worried about these guys at all.
Yeah, especially with the way the SEC East has looked as of late. I put Florida pretty low. Obviously, AR looked really bad this last game, but they're still a solid team. Tennessee's better than them. Kentucky's definitely better than them. Yeah, you're right. I mean, right now, all they are is better than Missouri and Vanderbilt. So
that's about it.
Let's talk about what went wrong for them. Number one, we already talked about the offensive line. It's really, really, really bad. And you heard, and we talked about it on last show, Sam Pittman even mentioned on College Game Day. He was confident in saying Arkansas was going to win up front in the trenches. And if Arkansas is going to win in the trenches, I can promise you we're going to win in the trenches. This offensive line that we have might be one of the best that we've had at Georgia in a really, really, really long time. And we talked about last week that we need to get the run game going. This is a really, really good opportunity to get them downhill and let them get to the second level because South Carolina is a good team to feast on for sure.
This is a team you want to go in there and you want to show. Sometimes you just got to remind somebody who's boss. They think this is a rivalry. This is not a rivalry. I can promise you that. They think, oh, Will Muschamp's at Georgia now. We got this rivalry with Georgia. We don't think about you. You're not good.
No.
You're just another team in our conference. You're just one brick in the wall. Not worried about him at all. Couldn't be more confident.
But yeah, some people have questioned the hate week on Twitter. Obviously, if you're not following us on Twitter, again, at Backstreet Boys, follow us there because we put a lot of our content there. But hate week is just whoever we're playing. We had an Oregon hate week. Nobody hates Oregon. We hated Oregon the week that we played them. We hate South Carolina. We hate all conference teams, but there's no like animosity really. Like I find myself pulling for South Carolina plenty. I've never pulled for Tennessee. I've never pulled for Florida. As of late, I've never pulled for Bama.
Those are real rivalries, though.
Right. Yeah. Never pulled for – I mean, I've mentioned on this show I don't really hate Auburn that much because it's just sheer dominance. That'd be like hating Georgia Tech. But when they're good, I hate them. So everything about this game – but I am very, very excited for this game. And I think it stems back from like growing up, this was a big game for us. When Spurrier was there, like they would always keep us out. You know, you think back a lot of the years, like 2007, the crazy year. They weren't even good. They beat us. We win that game. We're probably in the BCS finals. So it does stem stuff. I'll never forget when we went there and they dropped us 35-7. That was one of the most deflating moments of my life. So all that has culminated to where I do get excited for South Carolina game. I don't know if y'all share the same feelings as I do.
No, they're just like, I feel like they're kind of like, you know, Texas A&M is to Alabama. You know, they punch up every once in a while. They get a lick in on Big Brother. They're 53-19, or they're 19-53 against us all time. It's not a rivalry. I really don't think about them that much.
I definitely didn't like him when Spurrier was there, but
no, I mean Spurrier.
That's because Spurrier is a master troll, and I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's the most hateable and lovable rival coach we've ever had. Like it's not like Urban Meyer where you can't find a single thing not to like about him. Spurrier at least is funny. Where do we rank USC in our rivalry? I know where I rank them. It's nowhere near the top, and I'll let y'all speak after this.
Not in the top 5.
Yeah,
for me, it's Florida, Tennessee. This is me personally. Florida, Tennessee, Auburn. Honestly, right now, Bama, Clemson, Georgia Tech, South Carolina. But Georgia Tech is going to be higher in terms of our history. But for me, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think I would even – I mean, there's probably another few other teams you could sneak in there. Like I said, they don't move my needle.
No, not at all. Here we go. Talking about the game. Let's talk about actual game. Dylan Bell and Jackson Meeks go off against USC. I love how you didn't do USC. Never, ever called them USC. Ever. There's one USC, and it's not in Columbia, South Carolina. Let me tell you.
I promise you that.
All right.
Well, we were going to talk about this anyways.
Right.
So
good place to start.
Let's do this with A.D. Mitchell doubtful for this game. I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably not going to play.
Yeah.
Technically, that is what doubtful means, I guess. I don't think USC is going to. I mean, I don't think A.D. Mitchell is going to play. So I'm going to go with your guy that you think is going to step up, or guys that you think is going to step up and have a big game, you know, with him out.
I got Marcus Rosemy-Jackson. I think just the way he's been running routes, the way the coach staff's been going after him. I like him a lot. As a freshman, he made some, like Griffin mentioned, he made a lot of big plays for us as a freshman. So I like him to step up. He's a guy, he's older, he's earned the trust, and I expect some big things out of him this week.
Yeah, he was my guy too. I definitely think that he's going to be the one. I mean, he's wearing that number 1 now. He looks like a guy primed to have a good game. So, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Rosemy-Jackson as well.
Very true.
I'm gonna go with the guy that I think it'll be and the guy that I hope it'll be. The two that he mentioned, Dylan Bell and Jackson Meeks, 100%. I would love to see Eric Gilbert get a little burn this game. Just kind of really flex on him because they have Jaheim Bell, and I'm tired of this. Jaheim Bell is better than Brock Bowers talk because that's ridiculous.
Awful.
And let's just go ahead and flex 3 tight ends on them since they think they have one that's better than our best one.
Key note on that too. If you follow us on Twitter, you saw the Bama fan chirping us. But South Carolina is down their starting edge and their starting middle linebacker. Unfortunately, they both tore their ACL last game. It really sucks, but it does leave a huge hole. And right here we got Jeremy Ryan. He says Darnell and Brock show. I agree. It's going to be, especially middle linebacker down. Like number one, you can't guard them with anybody you got. And especially when South Carolina is going to their depth, which is not very long, it's definitely going to be a tight end show, in my opinion. I think we're going to run the ball. I think we're going to hit the tight ends. Another guy to watch to step up for A.D. Mitchell, watch for Don Blaylock. He's been in there. He hasn't made a a big
We're gonna
splash
keep
yet.
calling for
But
the Don Blaylock comeback until it happens.
it's gonna happen. Like he's too talented not to. They're just kind of working him back in. It's kind of like Tyke. They're working him back in a little bit, and then those two are gonna be real nice come time. Here's a question we can address right now. Where the hell is Biggy? Biggy
That's
is
my
coming on
roommate.
the
He's
back
sitting
half
across
of
the
the
hall.
show.
He'll be on for the picks. Don't you
Biggie's
worry.
coming on the back half of the show. But
Yeah.
you did mention Jaheim Bell. I will say the dude is a freak. He's not
Yeah, he's
better
good.
than Brock Bowers.
He's not
but
better than Bowers.
They
He's
had him
good.
lined up in the backfield against Arkansas. He was running jet sweeps. He's not really even a tight end. Like, he's just a skill position player that can do it all. He's big enough to kind of play tight end. But he is a guy that Georgia will game plan around. They will not let Jaheim Bell beat them. I promise you that, because they have nobody else that really can.
No.
That's what it boils down to. Another key note. Go ahead.
Here's an interesting question before you go into that. Do y'all think we give up a TD this game?
No. And I was about to tell you why. Go ahead, Jake.
No, you go ahead.
Arkansas ran for 295 yards on them. That's just a quick note. But like I said, they can't run the ball. Like, if you can't run the ball, I don't know how you're going to score. We don't even have to put 7 guys in the box to stop it. We don't have to put 8 guys in the box. We can put 6 guys in the box, and we can just run blitzes with that. We can drop into coverage. We can go man-to-man because they have nobody who can beat Keeley one-on-one. They have nobody who can beat Malachi one-on-one. I seriously don't think they score unless they hit a big bust play. Spencer Rattler skates out of the pocket, kind of heaves one up.
Which he's
DB trips. Right, 100%. And that's I do not see them driving down the field, putting play after play together, and then getting in the end zone. I don't think that's going to happen.
You'll have to lie in the bed you made with Spencer Rattler, because I don't think they have a prayer of winning this game. But if they are going to make a play, it's going to come from him using his legs, breaking the pocket, and somebody getting undisciplined and maybe jumping up or biting, on a potential quarterback run, and he heaves one and throws a perfect pass. He's liable to do that.
Yeah, no, Christopher, I think that's Vale. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but they're going to try to live on 3-step drops, quick passes from the pocket, and deep shots. Yeah, that's all teams can do against us. They're not going to sit there and hold the ball. Everybody knows how good Jalen Carter is. Everybody knows how good Nolan Smith is, Robert Bill. You can't sit there and do that, but you can't pick your 2-yard outs, 3-yard slants, and get all the way down the field against Kirby. Like, they will at some point bow up, stop you. You saw Chris Smith bait them into the pick, or Bo Nix. Like, they'll create turnovers. You can't just dink and dunk your way down the field against this defense. You have to hit a big play. In order to hit a big play, you have to have time. And so you're right. They're going to try that. Everybody tries that. It just doesn't work. Like, I
love that we have the lowest sacks in the nation. We have one sack on the year.
Exactly, because I would love to see the average time that the ball gets out right now from opposing teams. That would be a good stat I would like to see. The chat is popping right now. That's what we were laughing about earlier. You can check it out for yourself. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but Redo Fly is after. What is a path that y'all see South Carolina could actually win this? Let's say cover. What's a path where South Carolina can cover? I don't think they can win.
Georgia doesn't get on the bus. Cover?
Yeah, cover. Just cover.
Mr. Rattler has the game of his life, and he throws it 50 to 60 times for 400 yards. And
I think if he does that, it's an easy cover. I think it would require them to get some turnovers, like early turnovers, and they'd have to keep the crowd in it for at least 3 quarters. Listen, this is a personal story here. We clinched the playoffs on, I don't remember what day it was, but we were in Columbia. We were playing the Columbia Fireflies. So we go out that night when we get back. So I'm at a bar with all South Carolina fans. And it wasn't even that fun because I was trying to talk crap to them, and they were just like, yeah, I don't know. I just hope we cover the spread. Like, at that point, all they're doing is hoping they cover the spread. So it's not even worth talking about whether they can win the game or not, because I don't think there's a path. Like I said, I don't care what your skill positions are. I don't care who your quarterback is. If your line of scrimmage is worse than the line of scrimmage across from you on both sides of the ball, you're not going to win the game, and especially when the difference is this drastic. Arkansas running for almost 300 yards on them is brutal. And they scored, 45 points? So I think it's going to be a long day for the Cox. Long, long day.
I think they keep it closer than they did last year.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I think Georgia actually, they're not going to try to rub their noses in it, but they're going to.
I think Mike Hill and Nolan get to Rattler 3 times. Yeah.
Well, I remember on the SEC when we did our SEC or
previews
we did, it was pick a guy to have a big game, and I said Bobby Beal this game. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, especially late. If they're getting down, they're going to have to try to throw the ball, and you never know what could happen. There could be a lot.
I just don't think hero ball works against the Kirby Smart defense.
No.
And nothing I've seen out of Rattler so far shows me that he's changed his approach whatsoever.
Has anyone ever just straight up beat us with hero ball in all of Kirby's time?
Bo Wallace, I don't even know if that was hero ball though. Was it Bo Wallace or Chad Kelly when in 2017 against Ole Miss?
Oh yeah, that was
or 2016, whichever one that was.
That was a brutal game at Ole Miss. Yeah, I've actually deleted that from my memory.
I actually don't remember that game at all either. That's why I was asking you. I think that was just an ass kicking.
It was brutal. I mean, kind of Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter of 2018 a little bit, but that's just because he came in and we didn't have him game planned.
Yeah.
So you've already mentioned a guy that you think will pop. Griff, who's a guy you think on Georgia will have a big game?
I actually wrote down Beal for defense, but I also wrote down Kendall Milton. We talked about how their run defense is terrible, and so I mean I could see Kendall Milton eating this game.
Yeah, I had the running backs written down. I think they want to make a statement with their run blocking this game, being able to run between the tackles. It's an aspect of the game that you have to have. Everybody knows that. Every Kirby Smart team he's ever coached has had that. And I'm not saying they're going to sit there and hand the ball off 40 times. Like Stet's still going to throw. There was a question earlier in here. I'm sorry I missed it. But it's how many yards y'all think Stet will throw for?
I got him at over 289.5. So as long as it's over that, I'm cool.
I mean, I think he pushes 320, 330 this game.
He threw for 300 against Samford.
Sure.
So
I think we're going to run the ball, kind of like the Auburn game from last year, where we're running the ball on them, pull it out, deep ball. I think we're going to hit a couple of deep plays. So I don't think it's going to be like Oregon where it's coming out just picking them apart through the air. I think it's going to be kind of old school, but you're going to look at the box score and be like, oh, Stet threw for 320 this game. Bryce Young, SEC championship. Yeah, that was kind of
a hero ball.
That was a whole team beat down. I mean, they were just
that was us getting our asses kicked.
That was Jameson Williams running by us. Yeah, that was tough. He did play a great game. He kind of hero balled them, kept keeping them in the national championship though. I will say that
is true. Yeah,
and
guess what? It ran out of juice at the end.
And he's hero balled them this whole entire year. They're not. Yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna get on the Bama rant today. All right. Anything else I got on this game? Anybody in the comment section? Any questions?
Sandstorm's a stupid song. How about that?
Ridiculous. I think we play an RPO heavy offense, wear down South Carolina starters, then run it out to finish them off. 42-6. That's Ray Johnson.
I'll allow that.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I just think I think it's a game where, like I said, the offensive line has been elite pass blocking. They've been good, like really good run blocking, but especially between the tackles, there's a lot to improve. And I think it's the time that can really make a statement. So I think you're going to see some big physical play up front.
I actually do love that comment by Brady. Put that up. Because that's kind of, I mentioned it when I said Bo Wallace. He said it's pretty interesting because teams typically beat Alabama playing hero ball in the past, but Kirby's teams don't lose that way. That's every time Alabama lost. Johnny Manziel, Bo Wallace, Chad Kelly. Like it was always just
Zach Calzada last year.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. That was always the MO. Like you're not going to beat Kirby or not going to beat Saban unless you have a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The only note I had is our front seven will dominate. Like I think they will absolutely dominate this game. I think it's gonna be tough for Rattler. They're gonna have to do some things different. And I looked up it was actually on the South Carolina SI page. Wrote an article talking about the game, and they were talking about up front. And they're like, listen, Georgia's better than us up front. They're more physical, and our coaches aren't going to out-scheme theirs. It ain't like they're just big physical guys playing for Jimbo Fisher. They're playing for Kirby Smart. So it's a little bit different. I hope y'all got that Jimbo Fisher slide there.
Yeah. I had it written down that it could be a big day for turnovers, too. I mean, yeah. I know we already talked about that.
5 turnovers.
I saw that.
5 turnovers.
I mean, it could happen. It definitely could.
Yeah.
Against Rattler?
Yeah, I would think 2 interceptions against Georgia State. So for
sure. South Carolina is also 6 of 24 on third down this year.
That is really 24.
Good. That is not a good look playing Georgia's defense.
There's just not much you can do with a bad offensive
I wonder if it's because, I wonder if they just have a player that just, doesn't play within system at all, and so the offense is always off schedule, and they're always in third and long. Nah, that's probably not it.
All right. Well,
I got to get it out now. I got to get it out while I can.
Final score predictions. What we got? Griff?
38-0.
38-0. I'm saying we're scoring at least 40. I'll say 45-3. I
was going to go 42-6.
We'll give them a field goal.
42-6. All right. I think that's all I got on that game so far. They did get outgained by Georgia State 311-306 and still won the game. I think they had 2 punt blocks maybe. I know they had 1 punt block.
If they had not blocked two punts, that game was tied. I'm pretty sure. Or they were winning by 1 or something.
Yeah. I'm feeling very good about this game. Very confident. Anybody can clip this and tag that Spurs up clown. Feel free.
It's kind of funny that all our predictions are like so high, like so big of blowouts for every single game.
Keep it close at first. We're like 45-0.
I don't think we're gonna have a game all year where we're like, oh, this one might be like within 20 points.
I don't know. There might be a few, but not this team. Like they're just bad. Like I hate to be like that because I was very high on them coming into the year, but they're not good. If you're not good up front, you cannot win in the SEC. You can't.
See, I enjoy it because like I said, I put out my SEC predictions, like full game, every SEC like record prediction, every team. And I had South Carolina at 6-6, and their fans were so upset.
Yeah,
we're winning at least 8.
You were way lower on than me and Griff were. 100%.
I haven't finished second in the freaking East. I'm such an idiot. But
I was ridiculous. Yeah, I put in my bold takes that they were going to win 9 games to beat Arkansas and Tennessee.
Did y'all see the Beamer is good at special teams comment there?
Yeah, he is.
It doesn't matter. We're better at special teams, so.
Shout out to Pod. When I was at the Sanford game, he kicked like 7 touchbacks in like 2 quarters.
He had a good game. Very good game. All right, let's do it. It's time. Griff, do you have the other overlay?
Yeah, let me put it on, and I'll pull Biggy in.
So if you don't know who this guy is, this is Biggy from Cook the Books. Biggy, what's going on?
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, boys. I love the board, and I'm ready to drop some damn winners.
Love it. Love it. If you're not following Cook the Book on Instagram, do it. It's a treat, I promise. Money back guaranteed if you don't like it. All right.
I never had a girlfriend until I started following Cook the Book bets on Instagram. Look at me now.
Wow.
That's all you need to know.
High praise.
All right. What's the totals from last week? I had a good week. I had a lot of people.
I think we all went 2-2, didn't we?
Made Cole. I went 3-1.
Cole went 3-1.
I won the first 3 I had. West Virginia sold so hard, but it was a terrible bet. They weren't even close. I can't be that mad at them. Updated standings.
Fooled me.
I'm 5-5. Jake is 5-4-1. Griff is 5-5. It's getting tight. And folks, we officially have a punishment for the loser of this contest, and y'all are gonna like it. The loser of this contest has to buy tickets to a Georgia Tech home game and attend it.
No
and
phone either. Can't bring your phone.
The 2 winners get to pick the game they go to. So that is the punishment. I can't think of much worse. So let's just say that motivation's at an all-time high, and we've brought on a professional to let us hear some stuff, give us some insight on how to really bet. So let's just do it. Let's talk about some of the big games before we get into our main picks. I think we start down south in a place that we know too well in Jordan-Hare. Auburn, Penn State. Auburn +3 at home. Biggie, do you love the home dog?
Dude, I don't. They're so bad. TJ Finley is terrible. They've played Mercer and San Jose State. He's already thrown 3 picks. The hell is he going to do against Penn State defense? I like the under. The public's heavy on it, and it hadn't moved, so I really don't like it that much. I just don't see a lot of points being scored. Dude, Auburn's just so bad. I'm laying off of them until I see how they are at this game, and then, maybe later on in the season I'll bet them. But, dude, they're just – TJ Finley's terrible. Tank Bigsby is going to have to do everything, and as long as they shut him down, they're in trouble. So, I don't know. I'm laying off that game.
Big, you're forgetting about one thing. You're forgetting about one thing, and that is Jordan-Hare voodoo magic. Something's going to happen. I don't care. A severed arm will reach out of the ground and grab a Penn State player on the way to the end zone or something like that. And he'll trip and fumble, and Auburn will run it all the way back. Something stupid's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to lead to Auburn covering, but I am betting on something stupid happening, and they'll keep it close.
Jordan
It is
Hare,
weird.
Jordan Hare is probably like, and this is all bias aside, worth more points than any other home atmosphere in the country.
Like BYU, Oregon, like they're giving Oregon 3 because Oregon's the home team.
Right, exactly. And Jordan Hare might swing at 6 points. I'm dead serious. It's that good of an environment. What do we think about this play from Chase Langford, Akron plus 47.5?
Full game? Maybe. I'll talk about that. I got that one. I'll talk about that when
we won't dive into that one.
Okay, we'll dive in. All right, next big game we got Nebraska. Oklahoma at Nebraska. Nebraska is plus 11. Another home dog. Big. Before I ask you about this one, how do you go about picking your bets? Is it a lot of numbers based, or are you just going off your professional eyeballs?
A good bit goes into it, but at the end of the day, you got to go with your gut. I typically go through the slate first thing Monday morning, pick all the games I like based off my gut, and then we dive into the numbers, see the offensive defensive matchups, look where the public money's at, dive into that. Now, as far as this Oklahoma-Nebraska game goes, listen, I've been burnt on Nebraska a million times. They're on the fade list. I can't bet them. But something tells me that they're going to play better without Scott Frost. I truly believe it. I think he's the damn problem. Do I think they cover the 11.5? I think they could. But if I were to bet on them, I'd be insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So I can't do it.
I love Nebraska, hate the number. How about that? I don't like them at 11. If this game was like 18 or 19, I'm all over it. I don't love them at 11.
Well, the thing is, they're too good of a team, like on paper, to give them 18. But at the same time, they suck. So you can't give them the probably 7 or 8 that they're worth in terms of talent difference. It's nuts.
I watched them lose to Northwestern, and Northwestern just got rolled by Duke at home.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel is going to throw for 450. I'm calling it. He's going to throw for 450. Nebraska has the worst secondary I have ever seen. Terrible. They're awful.
Speaking of that, actually, Ryan Helinski, former Gamecock, lit them up week 1 or week 0.
That is true.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. All right, this next game I love. I love this game. It might be what I play. I might go ahead and give you my play. I'll do it. My favorite is in Eugene. Oregon minus 3.5. I think the line is nuts. I don't understand why they're favored by 3.5, and for that reason, I will take it. Oregon minus 3.5, hosting BYU.
Now listen, I agree with your take on this. I agree with it. I do completely 100%. It makes absolute sense. But also, the BYU Cougars are different. They are different. I'm telling you, I will not bet against them. I will not do it.
Biggie, what you got?
Dude, so this one's weird. I mean, I had Baylor to win the Big 12. I think they have a shot.
Same.
The fact BYU beat them last week, that kind of surprised me. Now, that line from the jump last week was a rat line. Everybody asked, should we take Baylor? I said, absolutely not. But I think they're a good team. Now, the public's super heavy on them. Hell, the total's gone from 49.5 to 58. So that's kind of funky because I think BYU's defense, honestly, I think is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be – it's all going to come down to Bo Nix in this game, how he plays. If he plays, good, I think they have a shot. Other than that, I don't know, man. I think BYU's the better team. That's just
at Auburn. I think Bo Nix was always better at home at Auburn. That is something worth remembering.
100%.
The big difference for me in the game last week is Oregon's offensive line is way better than than Baylor's offensive line. Baylor's offensive line gave Shapen no time, and Shapen did nothing with the time that he was given. I don't know. I think that if you can match them up front, I think the home, like you said, the home environment can give them 3 points. So we'll see. I love BYU's quarterback. He's the man. That dude can really spin it. So I think it'll be a good one. I can see that total going up. Last big game of the week, I'm going to end up taking Miami, and I'm going to hate it. But Miami at A&M, the line is 5.5 towards Texas A&M, which terrifies me. What do we got there?
Dude, I like the under. I mean, it's dropped.
I was just about to say, it's not going to be my pick, but I got the under at 52.
Miami struggled last week against Southern Miss.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they're going to do against A&M? A&M's defense is solid. I mean, talent for talent, hell, they're probably the most talented team in the country outside of maybe, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. But, Dude, it all comes down to coaching. Their offense sucks. Miami's defense is pretty good. I like the under. Even at a number like 45, I still like the under, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a boring game.
Yeah. I know you're a guy who plays low unders, Biggie. Do you love the low unders still?
Well, dude, I like playing low unders because not many people do.
Yeah.
You know, typically if I see an under, especially like an Iowa State game,
easiest
play below 40 or at 39.5, that's an auto bet, auto under. And this one's getting pretty damn close. I think the under cashes.
Yeah. We're talking about an offense that, App State the week before gave up 63 points to UNC. And granted, there were a few overtimes mixed in there, but man, they 16 points.
Still.
I got it at 52, so I really love it. I'm not worried about it at all. I would be extremely shocked if it didn't hit. But I'm not going to cheap out and put that as my play of the week because that line has dropped 7 points.
Yep.
So,
all right, before we get into our plays, Biggie, you talked about the fade list. Who are some famous people on the fade list?
Well, we basically, in year one of Cook the Book, built the brand off of fading the University of Tennessee. We faded them just about every week, and we cashed. I think we went like 8-4. Fade Tennessee, fade Texas, fade USC. Now, that was year one. And Texas, I don't know if I'll be fading them this year because I kind of do like Hudson Card. I got a little faith in him too. And USC's kind of – are they back? They may be back. I don't know yet. That may or may not be another one of my plays this week, but we'll dive into this. But those three teams, as well as Nebraska. Now, Nebraska was a fade team with Scott Frost. He's gone now. They may build their way back into where I'll start betting on them. But until they prove themselves, I'm off of them.
Who's the coach y'all go get for Nebraska?
Dude, I was talking with somebody.
Coach Orgeron.
Coach Joe.
No, that's better.
National champion. I don't know.
Mickey Joseph's going to win like 6 or 7 games, and they'll keep him.
I don't know how you don't call Mark Stoops. Like, I really don't. I don't understand how you don't call him.
Be hilarious.
They're calling Urban Meyer, bro.
Tennessee.
Urban Meyer's coming back.
If they took Heupel from Tennessee, I would.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That would be hysterical.
I haven't thought about that, but that would be awesome. Let's go around real quick. Who's on your list, Griff? I know we've built quite the list over the years. Who's the first team on your list that you will never take?
This one all stems from this one singular game. All right, me and Cole were Thursday night football. All right, it was or not NFL, but college Thursday night football. But we had Houston. I think +5. I think they were +5 in this game.
Yeah, they were.
They go up 28-0, go into halftime 35-7. Somehow, by the grace of God, Tulane came back in this game, and it was 35-35 with
that the pick six?
20 seconds left. What?
We stopped watching the game. I'm be honest.
That was Tulsa. My bad. Continue.
No, but I think it was 2019 maybe. But so
yes, it was.
They come all the way back, make it 35-35. There's like 20 seconds or something left in the game, something like this. And I think they're going to kick a field goal to win. But Houston just lets them run right down the field. They run like a 70-yard touchdown with 20 seconds left.
It was
or something crazy like that, and we lose.
Yeah.
And so but the real guy that was on the fade list was the kicker because he missed a field goal going into halftime to make it 38-7, and
which would have made all the difference.
We think that's why they lost, but
missed kicks are the biggest turn.
By the way, I absolutely adore that you guys are hanging on to an American Athletic Conference game on a Thursday night from 2019.
At one point,
you guys are still hanging on to that.
At one point,
I did take Houston last week. I will say they did not cover. They pushed it +3. So I will not bet them again. Screw those guys. They're -9 this week versus Kansas too. And
yeah, what's the
I don't
biggest
know,
kick in
man.
the nuts you've had, Biggie?
I'm thinking maybe Kansas +9 there, but Houston is supposed to be good. I don't know.
Biggest kick in the nuts you've ever had, Biggie?
Oh, man, there've been a few. My nuts have been sore for a while. Dude, I'm trying to think. I mean, so honestly, it ended up all working out, but SEC championship last year, I had a future bet on the Dogs. I placed last summer in June, 2,500 to win 23.5 grand going into the SEC championship. I was like, dude, it's over. We're good. We're going to roll them. Dude, you won't talk about a go.
I was with you that day.
You were in that
Yeah,
garage.
I was too.
And I was like, dude, I don't know what the hell I was going to do. I got a little nervous. That was probably outside of like a bet and loss, just because there was so much at stake. That was probably the one that was like, oh, dude, because all year, Georgia, Alabama, they went to OT with Auburn. Arkansas could have beat them. LSU almost, Florida almost came back. I was like, dude, we're about to roll them. And they didn't. We got smoked. And I was like, buddy, that's probably the biggest, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
In my sports betting career.
Not only did you have the future, but you doubled down for that SEC championship game.
I sure did.
Yeah. Love it. All right, let's get into some plays. Let's talk some plays here. I've already given my favorite, so we can just go around the box. Jake, give us your favorite.
Biggie's our guest. I'll let him go first.
That's true. That's true.
Man, I like Tennessee first quarter -12.5.
You son of a bitch. I should have let you go first.
Dating back to last year, man, they were 10-2 in first quarter spreads. It's a night game in Knoxville. They're playing Akron. That's kind of a no-brainer play. They're going to come out hot. Akron's not going to be able to stop them. I mean, there's really nothing else to say other than that.
I love that.
This is just like Michigan, Hawaii last week. That was one of my easier plays last week. Michigan -13 first quarter, easy as could be.
Especially my
so yeah, I love that one. I will be playing it. I'm not going to make it my official play. We'll mix it up a little bit. I am going to go to Griff while I choose between these two.
All right. My favorite this week. I'm big on the underdogs this week. Didn't have many favorites that I liked. And okay, well, this line moved. So I don't know if I can take this. I had Purdue as my favorite at a pick'em. And that's what I took them at, but they're +1.5 now, I think. So I guess
which is hilarious because I got Syracuse at +2, and so that was actually going to be my.
Just use it with whatever. Use it with whatever you want. Then.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take
just make it a pick'em.
All right. It's a pick'em. I'm taking Purdue. Okay. Pick'em versus Syracuse.
Got it.
Dude, Syracuse. I don't know what's going on over there right now, but they're not that good. It's Syracuse. All right.
I would actually say the opposite. Let's talk about this game for a second. I would actually say Syracuse.
Take the opposite, Jake.
I think Syracuse is very good, actually. I love Sean Tucker. I think Syracuse is actually going to dominate.
Use Syracuse as your pick'em for the favorite, and just go ahead.
All right, let's do it. We'll go head to head. I'm taking Syracuse.
Love it.
This is the first time ever. First time ever for this.
Yes, that's what we needed,
dude. Purdue, I actually think that they're like pretty good. Like, dude, Aiden O'Connell's a good quarterback. So
they did lose to Penn State at home. So
they're kind of on my
we'll see what Penn State
a little bit, but I actually am buying Syracuse.
Jeff Brom was what's his nuts of the week last week.
That Louisville Florida State game will tell us a lot if Syracuse is for real.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I will say
a lot of Louisville.
I need to ask y'all this on mine because I haven't taken Oregon yet because I think the line's going to drop. I'm going to wait till the game and get the closing line on that because I think it's going to get 2-3. I don't want to take 3.5. I think it's going to get to 3.
Okay. Well, for most of the picks, then I'll say I'll put it out as
all right, cool.
The line that it is right now. But for the Purdue one, since I got it at pick 'em, I'll put it as a pick 'em.
Pick 'em.
Because it's not a favorite anymore.
All right, we'll go in reverse order for underdog. Jake, who you got?
I got a lot on my list, honestly. I don't know if I really love any of them more than any in particular. But I will take Georgia State +9 first half.
Are they at home?
Their uniforms are really cool. I don't know if y'all saw those, by the way. The all black uniforms, they look very good.
I did see that.
That is not why I picked them. But wait, hang on. I want to just look this up before I say something stupid.
All right, go ahead, Griff. Who you got?
I love the underdogs this week. I'm gonna have to talk about some more of these, but my pick is gonna. This is ratty though. I'm gonna take it anyway though. I'm gonna take it. It's ratty, but Michigan State +3.5 at Washington. I think Michigan State's a way better team than Washington, And
Georgia State's a
I know
favorite, by the way.
Biggy
Yeah,
has
my
something to
mistake.
say about this. I know he does.
It's just,
But I'm going to take it anyway. I'm just going to. Last week, I didn't buy into the rat line that was Appalachian State, or so we
That's
thought.
true.
And
That's true.
I'm going to do it. I'm not holding back.
Real quick, Georgia State's a favorite. I don't know why I said that. I just had it written down wrong. I will go Vandy plus 1.5.
Love it.
This is my
I
Vanderbilt.
saw
week.
2.5 today,
took that
Jake. I'll be honest with you. So I'll give you 2.
Well, I guess
I got
it
it at 2.5.
Yeah.
I got it at 2.5.
All right, Biggie, what'd you shake your head for on the Michigan State one?
well, dude, it's shit. Public, absolutely.
Yeah.
Michigan State. They opened as a 3.5-point favorite. Now they're 3.5-point dog. Makes absolutely zero sense. You're talking 90% of the bets and the cash on Michigan State, and that line's moved 6 points. That's just that's one. Although your gut said, I mean, it's a no-brainer play. You look and you're like, oh, dude, they're about to roll over Washington. The way the line's moving, where the money's at, I just don't know about it. But again, dude, I've played those games before where I'm like, dude, this is a trap. I'm playing it anyway, and they cash. So I mean, dude, it could cash. I mean, they're probably the better team, but the line movement and where the money's at, that just makes me nervous.
That one's a big stay away.
What you got right here, Biggie, on this comment from Tom? Bama first quarter.
Bama first quarter, absolutely. So we've been from middle of the season 2020 to the A&M game last year. We played Bama first half. We played it, I think, 12 games in a row. It cashed 12 games in a row. And then it's been kind of up and down. We played it last week. Probably shouldn't have. Opened this week against ULM at 35. The line on the game's 49. That's too many points. So I love the first quarter spread, minus 12.5. Listen, all the anger that Saban had from that game last week, he has gotten into those players, and I feel so bad for Louisiana Monroe because they are about to get murdered.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Before I took Syracuse in this pick'em, I was picking between them and Ole Miss. Saban's going to make sure that no mistakes are made in this football game.
100%. They are, dude. I feel bad for them. I love first quarter. I may make it a 3-unit play, to be honest.
Who's your underdog, Biggie?
I love Western Michigan against Pitt. Pitt, their offense without Keaton Slovis was terrible. Line opened at 11.5. It's dropped all the way down to 9.5. Public's hammering Pitt. Over 95% of the bets and the cash are on Pitt, and it's dropping. Their offense is just bad without him. So I love Western Michigan in this spot, and I did like the under, but it's gotten all the way down to like 47.5 from 55, and that's kind of a burnt number. I don't like that as much, but I do like Western Michigan this week.
I'm going to the Kansas well. They burned me last week. Screw it. I'm going to take them here. Kansas plus 9 at Houston. Everybody loves Houston. Everybody's always loved Houston. All gamblers love Houston. I don't love Houston. I didn't love them last week. I took Texas Tech. I'm taking Kansas plus 10. I think it's plus 9 now. Kansas' offense is actually good. I mean, they go to West Virginia, which is a much better environment than Houston, and they scored borderline 50. So I like teams that can score, especially with close to 10 points. If you can score, I think you can keep it close. So I'm going to take that.
Given up a pretty good amount of points this year, too, in their first 2 games.
There's a lot of underdogs that I like, though. I love Western Kentucky at Indiana.
I love Western Kentucky was almost my pick. Indiana should not be favored against 7 points against anybody.
Agreed. I kind of like Fresno State plus 12.5 simply because everybody's USC's back, USC's this, USC's that. Fresno State's pretty good, and they just lost a heartbreaker to Oregon State, who's actually solid.
And that was actually they got to go to Corvallis next weekend. That's a big look ahead spot for them. I got a couple teams with look ahead spots. Colorado State plays Washington State, I believe, and Washington State has Oregon next week.
It's like
they're
28
catching
points
12
or something.
Washington State coming off of beating Wisconsin too.
Yeah. Even Rice plus 12.5 is another one that I have. I can't remember who they play. I just have the underdog written down.
I kind of like LSU plus 2.5 too, boys. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yep, I have that written down.
State.
Dude, I think they are so underrated this year. They're
good. Mississippi State's good, 100%.
The only thing about it, dude, they're playing at Baton Rouge at night, and that is such a difference maker.
When I see a plus sign next to LSU at home, it's like It's like, dude,
yeah.
it just tugs on me. I won't sleep before Saturday if I don't take it.
Yeah, I don't think I took that originally, but I'm about to go take it right now.
This works out well for me that I went first on the over because I only have one written down, and it's Liberty at Wake over 62.5. I'm gonna keep taking Wake's over because they can't play defense. They can score a ton, and the one in Vanderbilt hit at halftime. So give me that Wake Liberty over 62.5.
I love that over.
I have one over as well, and I got like 4 unders.
Biggie, what's your over?
I do like the Wake Liberty over, but I'm going to go with USF Florida over 59.5.
I like that one too.
I just think a lot of points are scored, to be honest.
Yeah.
I also like Florida first half in that game, but, as far as the overs go, I got the over in that game.
If you have any winners in the chat too, let us know. We're always looking for more winners.
Jeremy, to answer your question, I took Jaden Daniels over 260.5 total yards. They're gonna have to keep up with Mississippi State regardless. Mississippi State's gonna score.
That's a guy on my list, by the way. He's on my list not to bet any game he's associated with, and I know I just went against that St. LSU. I've never bet a Jaden Daniels game right. Never, ever in my life.
Even at Arizona State.
Pac-12, that's especially when he was at Arizona State. Never did I ever bet a game right that he was in. So I'm bad at betting his games, so you should probably go take Mississippi State for all you got.
I do have them. All right, my over is going to be Syracuse and Purdue. Points. I'm telling you. I think Syracuse is going to run it up on them too.
You got a lot right on this game.
That's the literal only over that I like this week. So
the Sean Tucker tweets. I'm going to start retweeting Sean Tucker's tweets on Baxter Street.
He's funny. I think it was like serious at first, but now he's just definitely doing a bit. But it's hilarious.
If you don't follow Sean Tucker, Syracuse running back on Twitter, he started last year tweeting out his performance, and they'd be getting killed, and he'd tweet out like, I thought I did good, though. I rushed for 70 something or whatever. It's awesome.
Oh, no, I saw that.
Think he's joined in on the bit now, and he does it every game. Everyone looks forward to it. It gets like 30,000 likes. I'm going to start retweeting that, Johnson. Griff, what's your over? Over and under.
All right. My over and my under?
Yeah, you go back to back.
All right, yeah. I have Mississippi State LSU over 53. I feel like that's not a super high total, and I feel like both these teams can score pretty well. I mean, LSU put up like 70 last week, and I mean, it was against a pooper, but I mean, we know Mississippi State's good.
The second half against Florida State, their offense, it felt like it started like kind of finding a little bit.
I mean, these are definitely two teams that can score, and I don't think LSU's defense is much to fawn over. So I mean, I think this is a good over. My under game we already talked about, BYU Oregon under 58. I like that a lot. I mean, I feel like BYU doesn't get. I feel like they don't get in a lot of shootouts. I feel like they're like a really hard-nosed football team, and that's why I like them so much. But I like under 58 there.
Cool, love it. Jake?
I have 3 that I like. I'm going to tell you which one I'm going to take. I do like Nevada, Iowa under 40. Who the hell's scoring 40 in that game? Love Miami, Texas A&M under 49. But the play, this is probably going to be my favorite play of the week, just like Georgia Stanford under 64 was my favorite play last week. Wisconsin, New Mexico State under 46.
I had that written down.
Who's scoring 46 in that game? Because it ain't Wisconsin, it ain't New Mexico State.
New Mexico State will not. Trust me, I've watched 2 of their games now. They will not.
That game will be offensive to the eyes. I can promise you that. You are not going to recognize what you're watching as football. They ain't scoring 46 points. I love the under.
Yeah, me too. Biggie, what you got?
Colorado, Minnesota under
I like
47. I think we see the exact same game we saw from these 2 teams last year. Colorado's terrible. Minnesota's going to run the piss out of the ball. It's going to be a quick game. A lot of punts from Colorado. I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer, to be honest.
Big Mo Ibrahim game. I got him circled this week on my prize picks.
I actually will probably take Minnesota. I've been on Fade Colorado for 2 years now. Like it doesn't matter. They're so bad. They're the worst Power 5 football team in the country. They're terrible. I don't know. And they used to be solid, and they used to be a tough place to play. I don't know what's happened to them. They're abysmal. If you haven't watched Colorado, don't.
I got them under 3 wins before the season started, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable about it.
They're terrible. They're freaking terrible. My under, and this is kind of going to Biggie's well of low unders. Cal at Notre Dame under 41.
Love that one.
Under 41. Like we said on all these, I don't know who's scoring. I really don't. Notre Dame's offense, and I know they're starting Drew Pine today, not the other guy, but the other guy beat out Drew Pine in the summer. So what does that tell you? I don't. Cal hasn't been able to score since Wilcox got there, so I don't think they're. Neither of those teams are going to score over 20 points. So I like the under there.
I love that under.
Any other plays that are catching the eye?
I think I talked about this at the top of the show. Louisville plus 2.5, just because so much of the public's on Florida State.
I took Louisville as well.
Georgia Tech will miss under 64. I actually do not hate that at all. I might play that.
Yeah,
it's crazy because that line got all the way up to 65, which I really don't understand that.
Me neither.
Yeah. Biggy, where do you watch football games on Saturdays? Where's your go-to? Well, you got a tour going on, huh?
Yeah, so we went to Atlanta 2 weeks ago for the Georgia-Oregon game. We're going to Columbia this weekend. Fired up for that. Going up to Knoxville the next weekend for Tennessee, Florida. Going all over. If I'm home, I'm hanging with the boys, slamming some cold beer.
I didn't know you were coming to Columbia. I didn't know you were coming to Columbia.
I'll be there.
You coming up on Friday or?
I'll be there Friday.
Nice. You got a place to stay?
Ready to let it rip.
About to say, I'm about an hour away.
And I don't have any action on the game, but I feel like I have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since I'm going, I feel like I have to.
I kind of like the under.
And it sucks, too, because Georgia team total over 37.5 was available on FanDuel for about 5 minutes. And then it got up to 38.5. And shit, I think it's going to be like a 38-10 game. I think that's kind of a key number. So I'm going to lay off that. But Georgia first quarter's minus 6.5. Hell, I may take it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm probably going to.
There's a chance me and Griffin are at that game. Griffin will definitely be at that game, but there's a chance
I'll definitely be there.
It depends on what happens in the Riverdale game tomorrow. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah,
Cole, before we go, I do have our fade list pulled up. I found it.
Give me one. Give me one and why.
Let me see here. This is a pretty good one. North Carolina, the worst football team ever when it comes to gambling. They are terrible. F. Sam Howell. I don't know how anyone could think that he is better than JT. Stick to basketball.
Did you?
I don't think they've covered this year, have they?
Probably not.
Did you do that last year after you took them against Georgia Tech, you think?
Maybe. There was a game.
I know I did, and they lost by like 30. And they were
definitely possible. But I have to read this one. This one, I can't even read it. Geno Smith is on here, and the stuff that's under it. We didn't like that guy for a lot of reasons, apparently.
Hoping he gets punched in the jaw again.
Yeah,
yes,
he gets slammed at practice. Who was he playing for then?
I don't know. I think
it's just a fake Geno.
It just says Geno Smith.
I took Geno this week.
If it was last year, yeah.
Nice. I don't know. I mentioned Minnesota because of fade. I kind of like you said, Nebraska plus 11 without Scott Frost. I don't know. I feel like that might be a rally game. That's pretty much all I got.
Georgia State, Charlotte first half. I think Charlotte's down to their third string quarterback. They had some high expectations going into the year. They're 0-3. I think they're going to lay down. Georgia State's a good team. Taking Georgia State -9 first half.
You got any big projects cooked up for Columbia, Biggy?
Dude, I'm just ready to film. I'm ready to get out there. It was kind of tough in Atlanta just because it was a neutral site game. You know, it's not like the college environment. Right. So I'm pumped to get out there. It's going to be a blast. Fired up. I got 12 plays that I've locked in. So fired up to sweat those out too. I don't think I'm going to go in the game. I'm probably just going to hang out in a bar, sweat those out, watch the dogs bring home the dub, and yeah, I'm fired up, man.
Love it.
Follow Cook the Book Bets on Instagram, and you can see those 12 plays.
For sure. Follow Cook the Book.
They're all cashing. Biggie's going 12-0 this week.
Well, and before I leave, I want to give my favorite plays of the week.
Yeah.
You had me on. If there's people in here who are like, I just don't know who to take this week, I'm gonna give you my 4 plays and my most confident plays. Michigan, first quarter against UConn. Love them. Bama, first quarter against ULM. They're going to destroy them. Tennessee, first quarter against Akron. It's a home game in Knoxville at night. Love these first quarter plays this week. Last, I'm going between Florida first half and Washington money line, but Florida first half. I like Florida first half a lot. I don't think they have a problem scoring on the USF offense, and there's going to be too fast paced for USF. So,
are you real tuned in to the coin flip on these first quarter games?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. And so you'll notice all of the first quarter games I have bet are good teams against bad teams. That's typically the only time I bet the first quarter.
Gambling's simple if you make it simple. Bet on good teams. Bet on good teams.
100%. 100%.
And I don't think I'd put a play on a good team in any four of my games. So that speaks to the kind of gambler that I am. All right, well, we got a film study with Brooks coming up after this. So if you're on now, stay on. Watch some film grinder from Brooks. But Biggy, thanks for coming on, man. Good stuff.
I appreciate it, fellas. It was a blast. Hopefully, we all win a little cash this weekend, and
we'll put you on the graphic. We'll have you right next to us on the graphic.
Come on with it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks everybody in the chat. Gave us plays, talked dogs. It was awesome. We really appreciate it. Like I said, Brooks, come on after this. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, but definitely Twitter if you're not following us on there. We're nonstop. So appreciate you guys. Have a good week. Go Dogs. Dogs by 1,000.